Impact Wrestling. What once was thought to be a competitor to the WWE, now is basically an indie. This once promising promotion was ruined by outsiders, bad businessmen, and women. As many look back on the times of old and remember the joy they had going to see the weekly pay-per-views, seeing stars like AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Desmond the votes changed? Alright. And Jeff Hardy. Everyone enjoys reminiscing on these times. Very few, though, decide to watch Impact today.
Myers, triple powerbomb. PCO with a suplex. Death Valley driver through the table. Tax. Oh, my God. Come on. Oh, no, not this. McCarty put through the table by Bully Ray. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, my God. Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. And slow him down. Look out. PCO sold onto the security. Steve, the destroyer for the post. Off the top. With that, Cass caught Bay with a cutter into the pile. Look out, Trey. PCO crashed and burned. Oh my God, the blow of the dice.
For far too long, Impact Wrestling has been forgotten about and thrown to the curb. It's time for that to stop. It's time for Impact to get the respect and eyes it deserves. It's time to watch Impact Wrestling.
We don't speak, but we know what we say.
Number 1. Gia Miller. Okay. Whoa. You stay on this video. Yes, Gia Miller is a highlight for me when it comes to Impact Wrestling, and I am a big fan of hers. If I didn't have other reasons, this would be a whole video about her. But alas, I have actual reasons why you should watch Impact. But I wanted to give Gia her due, because whether it is her stuff with Josh Matthews, or commentary on BTI, or her interviews, she's always a blast and hilarious whenever she's on screen. Anyway, let's move on to number 1.
Yeah.
Alright, well, okay. We don't just have beef now, we've got brisket.
Look, it's not all rainbows and butterflies, Gia.
No, it's not.
There's bad people in the world, and you know, Leo Rush just looking for ways to make more money, earn championship gold. That's what it's all about.
Sure.
Okay?
And I'll remember it.
All right. Suck it up, Buttercup. Kevin, did we see her shoes today?
Kevin! Get away from me.
You can't hide them.
Yes,
They're there. We saw them.
One of the biggest highlights in TNA was the X Division. The X Division was basically the mid-card division for TNA. However, TNA made this division feel big and almost bigger than the World Championship. You had your Styles, Daniels, and Joes who made the division and put it on the map. You also had those that were made into stars thanks to this division. Chris Sabin, The Amazing Red, Jack Evans, Elix Skipper, Frankie Kazarian, Jay Lethal, and so many more. All of these names were made through the X Division, and they later became stars. The difference between this division compared to, say, the cruiserweight divisions of WWE and WCW was these guys were not put down with the label of cruiserweight. TNA did everything in their power to make these guys stars. They made sure to emphasize the high-risk moves and nature these guys do. This is still a thing today. Names like Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, Jonathan Gresham, and more all have been put on the map thanks to the X Division. Tag team stars like Trey Miguel and Alan Angels all have been given a chance to shine as singles wrestlers thanks to this division. Stars like Chris Sabin, Lio Rush, and Kushida have helped by being in this division, giving it some elevation while also getting the other names over with the fans by having amazing matches with established names like themselves. The X Division is still kicking butt and elevating new stars to eventually move to the World Title Division and become main eventers. Yep, I said it. In my opinion, Impact Wrestling has the absolute best women's division in pro wrestling. Let's take it back to the old days of TNA. When WWE was still having bra and panties matches, TNA had Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong. TNA had an incredible women's division and gave women's wrestling a spotlight at a time when it wasn't as popular. Sure, companies like WCW had a division and Shimmer was around, but TNA was making women's wrestling widely known. Today, the Impact Women's Division is amazing. One problem with both WWE and AEW's women's divisions is that it's inconsistent and has terrible booking. Both companies have so much talent, but don't book them well. See, I criticized AEW for once. I'm not tribalistic. This is not a problem when it comes to Impact. Their women's division is incredible. You have stars like Deonna Purrazzo, Mickie James, MK Ultra, and so many more. Impact has an incredible women's and women's tag division. They stay consistent with booking and do it well, something the major two sometimes can't do, especially WWE with their women's tag division. I just criticized AEW. You cannot call me tribal. Impact makes sure to make their women's wrestlers big stars and a main part of their shows. You see women's wrestlers beating the male wrestlers. I'd love to see a women's wrestler win the Impact World Never mind, probably don't do that. Impact's women's division is by far my favorite in wrestling. As someone who doesn't have access to watch Stardom or TJPW, I can say without a doubt, Impact has the best women's division. Impact has always had silliness. Who can forget the Flying Elvis impersonators? Or the Johnsons? Crap. Anyway, TNA has always had fun characters, like Curryman, Shark Boy, oh shit! And of course,
Black Snow.
Impact's characters were all unique. None felt the same as those on the roster. One of my favorites has to be Rosemary. Her character is a work of art and genius. Courtney Rush is a vessel to the demon known as Rosemary, and the demon is something not to be messed with. Characters are still around today. Jessica Havoc, and now without a demon in her, Courtney Rush, are these rocker type characters that are just sick. MK Ultra are eerie, creepy, but awesome in a weird way. You have Giselle Shaw and her Shantaraj, which is one of the highlights of Impact to me. Justice for Jay. My man still hasn't recovered from that Storky suit. You have PCO, who is on an amazing run. PCO is this Frankenstein-like character, and it's insane that this man is 55 years old. 55, and he's doing crazy stuff. Another one of my favorites is Dirty Dango, along with Alpha Bravo. Also, that theme is sick. Also, how could I forget?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Characters are still a big part of Impact today, and I love them all. TNA was big in giving XWE stars a chance there. Maybe too much, but that's besides the point. TNA was a home where stars who were not given a chance by the WWE were able to shine. Kurt Angle, who is without a doubt one of, if not the biggest star that TNA has ever signed. Well, that was until they signed Hulk Hogan. Or maybe not, dude. Kurt, or Perk, as he was known by the internet then, had the run of his career in TNA. And even though he was battling his demons, he was all in on TNA. He pulled out crazy moves and made the TNA title what it is. Christian Cage is a prime example of a way TNA can revitalize your career. In WWE, Christian was always a mid-card guy in WWE and was never given a chance to shine. When he left and went to TNA, he became a certified star and is the reason why Christian Cage is relevant today. I am very happy to say that the case is the same today. My favorite example by far is Steve Maclin. He is one of my favorites in Impact, and I am such a big fan of his. While in NXT, Steve was always a tag team wrestler. When he left, all he had to do was cut his hair and wear trunks, and boom, he was a star. In all seriousness, though, Steve worked hard to get where he is today, and he has had classics in Impact. We never really got a proper run of him with the Impact World Championship, and I'm honestly kind of sad about it. Another example is Trinity. Now, I must admit, I have never been high on Trinity, and I still kind of think Deonna should have beat her for the belt. But even I cannot ignore the fact that she is a star in Impact. She has made her name in Impact and has proved herself. Impact is a place to be, and is a place for reinvention. But there is one more reason. There has been something that I have mentioned throughout this video, something that is clear in each category.
TNA Wrestling! We're back!
As of the time of me writing the script for this video, Impact was still Impact, and it was not TNA. While I was working on the video and finishing the script, Bound for Glory came and went, and with that show, Impact announced that TNA is back, and Impact would be rebranded. This excited many wrestling fans all over the world, and led to many even signing with TNA. Danny Luna, Trent Seven, Leon Slater, all have signed after having impressive showings in the company. TNA was once thought of as what AEW is today, and now TNA can be an alternative to WWE and AEW. The card for Hard to Kill is already impressive. Names like Xia Brookside and the Grizzled Young Veterans have been announced for the show. Big names like Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada are making their returns to Impact the next night at Snake Eyes. It is an exciting time to be a pro wrestling fan and to be a TNA fan. TNA is back, and it is so exciting. Now more than any, it is time to watch Impact Wrestling, or as it's known now, TNA.